Hey everyone, it's your buddy, it's your pal, Karnak, Star Wars Armada Explained. Today we're going to be looking at a new card that came in one of the more recent expansions. We're going to be looking at the Offensive Retrofit upgrade card, Flag Bridge. How do you know it equips that upgrade slot? Look at the bottom left-hand corner of the card. You'll see the icon for that there. Opposite of that, for the first time, I believe in Armada's history, it's the first 0-point upgrade card. Well, why will they make it 0 points? Well, and it's because you have to pay more points to equip something to it, so it only makes sense that you didn't want to hurt a player for taking it. So, what is this card? How does it work? Well, in a nutshell, it's allowing you to equip a fleet command. But let's read through all of it, and then we'll go over each part in detail. So, Flag Bridge, which love the art. I love how it's got the guy who doesn't look at explosions. Too cool for it. It says medium or large ship only. Flagship only. Modification. You gain one fleet command icon in your upgrade bar. You cannot spend a command token to resolve a fleet command card's effect. Okay, so a lot of restrictions and requirements here. Let's break it down. So medium or large ship only. You can't equip this card to a small ship or to a huge ship. Mediums or larges only. So what does that mean? Well, for the Rebels, you can equip it to a Starhawk, the Home 1 variant of the MC-80, MC-75, or Assault Frigates. And for the Imperials, you can equip it on any of the Star Destroyer variants, the Imperial class Star Destroyer variants, Victories, Interdictors, and the Quasar Fire. The second restriction is flagship only, meaning it needs to be on the ship that your commander is on. So your commander can't be like on a small ship and then you try to equip this card to another ship that he's not on. It can only be to a ship your commander is on. Finally, it's restricted by the modification monkier as well. What does that mean? In Armada, there's cards that also have the keyword modification. It's a further restriction. You cannot have multiple cards with the keyword modification equipped to a ship. Like, for example, you can't have a Star Destroyer equipped with both the quad battery turrets and advanced transponder net. Again, you can only have one card with modification equipped. You can't equip multiple cards with modification. So that's something you do need to take into account. If you do equip Flag Bridge, you won't be able to take other cards if you feel like you need the other cards to have those modification traits as well. All right. So in fleet building, this grants you the ability to equip one fleet command card to that ship. So for example, we'll say this is an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer variant. It doesn't have a fleet command upgrade icon in its upgrade bar. So I equip Flag Bridge to this ship that's got my commander on it, and I decide, you know what, I'm going to take entrapment formation on that ship now because it gained a fleet command icon. Perfect. Now, the restriction to this card is, as you know, the way that you typically activate a fleet command is that in the start of the ship phase, you have to spend a command token on that ship to essentially activate or resolve that upgrade card for your entire fleet. However, this has a restriction. It says you cannot spend command token to resolve a fleet command card's effect. So how do you use it then? Well, fleet commands also can be resolved if you discard them. So in a nutshell, what this is saying is, yeah, you can bring this fleet command, but it's a one-time use only, period. You have to discard this card to resolve its effect. That's why the Flag Bridge is 0 points, because yes, it's the benefit of bringing a fleet command, but it's one-time use only. And again, it's got all these other restrictions. Again, it has to be on a medium or large ship. It has to be a flagship. It's the modification. You can't take any other modifications. But hey, I mean, if you're looking for a one-time use card, there is still benefits for taking Flag Bridge. Like, for example, Flag Bridge on a Quasar Fire. Take all fighters follow me. Or on an Interdictor, maybe bring shields to maximum or something like that. Maybe you can even get a case where you could take some other cards, depending on what your fleet build and things that are running. Typically, where you're going to see the most use of Flag Bridge is essentially one-time use onlys of like all fighters follow me, entrapment formation, or take evasive action. I don't really recommend using it for intensify firepower or shields the maximum, but I guess you could. Typically with intensify firepower is if I'm bringing ships that want to benefit from this card, I really want to use this through multiple rounds, and I would rather try to figure out a way to incorporate that on another ship. In a nutshell, that's Flag Bridge. It's giving you a one-time use fleet command. Now, a few little interactions I want to make sure I'm pointing out. Okay, let me get back to my reference manual. I should have had this popped open already, but that's all right. It's just going to be right down here on my Star Wars Armada reference manual, which, by the way, you'll start seeing linked in the video description, so you guys have a quick, easy access to find that, which I'm pretty much almost done with the beta phase on that. I mean, 99% of the work is in there. I've got everything all done. All right. So for fleet command, what happens if, for example, the Flag Bridge card gets discarded by something? Maybe your opponent chooses to discard Flag Bridge. What happens then? Well, the equipped fleet command would still be equipped to that ship. It doesn't, you kill one, it kills both. That's not how it's worked. That's not how it's with the new FAQ. That's not how it's been ruled. So we have clarification on that. However, you never, as an opponent, would want to discard this card anyway, because if for any reason Flag Bridge does get discarded, well, that restriction of you cannot spend command tokens to resolve the fleet commands, well, that gets removed as well. So then your opponent could then resolve them with tokens. So don't do that. Don't ever choose Flag Bridge. Just choose something else besides that. Can you equip this card to ships that already have a fleet command icon on them? Yes, you absolutely can. Just again, keep in mind that even though you're equipping 2 or 3, whatever fleet commands, however many that ship can hold, like for example the Simoon, you can only resolve those fleet commands by discarding them. You can't spend command tokens to resolve them. Okay. So that's one thing to keep in mind with that. The final thing I want to bring up is about how fleet commands work. So some people kind of have sometimes a slight misconception about what fleet commands are, and if they get discarded, can you choose them again? Like for example, of Chimera. So let's say, for example, I have my commander on this victory, and I have Flag Bridge equipped on there, and we've got, let's say, Take Evasive Action on there. And I'm also having a Star Destroyer that's got the Chimera title equipped, and it starts with Entrapment Formation. So we'll say at the start of a ship round, I discard Take Evasive Action to resolve its effects for that round. We finish the round, we get to the next round. Can you use Chimera to flip from Entrapment Formation and switch out to Take Evasive Action? The answer is no, because technically Take Evasive Action is still in your fleet pool. It still was in it's still technically, even though it's discarded and it's no longer able to have any other effect, it technically is still considered part of your list, even though it's discarded. So again, the card is still there. It didn't go anywhere. It's still equipped to a ship. And again, all the fleet commands, those little dots and bullet points in front of them, signifies they're unique. You can only ever have one of them at a time. So if you discard Taste of Evasive Action, you will never be able to have another ship in that game switch to that upgrade, period. So Chimera cannot ever switch to Take Evasive Action. So keep that in mind when designing your lists. You can't do something like that. Okay, I don't think that there's any other crazy things going on with fleet commands or Flag Bridge. Again, any questions, you can go look up the CARM, see if it's answered in there. If not, leave a comment, post something, let me know about it. I do appreciate you guys watching the video, and hey, I'll see you all next time.